The college football experience, Iowa Hawkeyes 2022 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Networks presented by WinBet. Bet $50 at WinBet, get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WinBet. Download the WinBet app now or visit winbet.com. That's WYNNBet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. You already play fantasy on Sleeper, but now you can win cold hard cash with their brand new over under game. Just head to sleeper.com/SGP on your phone to join the SGPN group, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's sleeper.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by us. Yes, the SGPN app. We just relaunched our merch store, which you can get all of your favorite SGPN gear. Just go to store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com or get the SGPN app for free in the App Store and Google Play Store. And then you can do one thing, and that is to let it ride.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience, Iowa Hawkeyes season preview episode. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
Nobody knows nothing.
Somebody knows. Double the price, but no one touches Dundee.
Football's back. Look, we're doing all these previews, all 131. Subscribe on YouTube. You'll see my sweet ass Hayden Fry t-shirt that classic DGen sent me.
He's the inspiration for Hayden Fox, I believe, from Coach, right?
Yeah, from Coach. We looked this up. Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah,
doing it big.
A classic Coach Hayden Fry handed over the reins to one Kirk Ferentz.
Yes. And if you're wondering who that is over there, I am joined by my co-host, former JMU Duke defensive back. Give it up for the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi-oh. Up.
Iowa football, yeah, Iowa football. We love Iowa football, yeah. I mean, let's talk about the Iowa Hawkeyes. Look, we were doing 131 previous solo podcasts for each team like we do every year, Patty C. But this is a team that plays football.
It is.
This is the way it's supposed to be done.
They play old school football, and they've been doing it for a long time.
I love it.
Well, I don't get. They bring the income.
Let me pull a little nugget for you here.
What's that?
If I'm looking at this right, and I'm not missing something, Iowa has had one quarterback drafted within the first 3 rounds of the draft in the history of their program.
Chuck Long,
1986. Boom. Nice
there
pull.
We go.
First round, 12th pick in the draft.
Detroit Lions.
Very nice.
Boom.
Database dialing it up. But that's it. Other than that.
Chuck Long was also the quarterback coach for the Oklahoma Sooners in 2000. He ended up being the head coach for San Diego State. It was really bad at San Diego State, but
quarterbacking is not the thing at Iowa.
They had Mark Vlasic drafted by the Chargers, I believe.
Let's see.
Back in the day.
Vlasic. Oh,
back in the day.
I don't know if he was drafted. I just looked it up. I don't see a Vlasic on there.
Wow.
Maybe he was a.
Let's check it out. Let's go to the videotape.
Maybe I'm just spelling his name wrong.
I mean, look, I'm pulling it up right now. I'm quickly searching for Mark Vlasic. He was a 4th round pick.
Was he? Why doesn't this show up?
1987 by the San Diego Chargers. Database 1. What are you using over there?
I put 2 S's in Vlasic. So I spelled it wrong, but you're right. 1987. I do see it here.
Okay.
But 4th round again, only one top 3 round pick.
Look, they do something. And let's stop and talk about this for a second, because as much as I love Iowa Hawkeye football, which I do, shout out to Hayden Fry, Kirk Ferentz, they've just been awesome forever. We have a lot to unpack here, Patty C, because they offer lawn chairs at a discounted price at an unbelievable rate.
Cornfield lawn chairs,
unbelievable rate. Spencer Petras is their quarterback this year. He is a $4.99 shop to you drop lawn chair special going on at the
good for a whopping 5.8 adjusted yards per attempt, 10 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and 1,800 passing yards on the season.
They're just like Wisconsin. All right. I like them more than Wisconsin, but I'm saying, let's break this down here. Wisconsin gets Russell Wilson for 1 year in 2011 and goes 11-3, right?
Yeah.
11-3.
Rose Bowl berth, right?
And they actually you were like, man, they mix that power with this athletic quarterback.
They have a chance to win a big game.
You go back when Iowa had Brad Banks. Go back and look. Iowa for a couple years there, they were 11-2, lost the Orange Bowl with Brad Banks.
Interesting.
Just get an athlete. The rest of your team is so fucking sound.
Well,
so sound.
I will say that, we have complimented Iowa football for so long on being what they are and knowing what they are and doing it really, really, really well. And maybe what Iowa football is, and what it definitely is ball control. And
ball control, great special teams, and great defense.
Yeah.
But if you just get an athlete and just say only throw if the guy's wide open.
Yeah.
Go play action with them. They always have great tight ends, so you roll out the tight end. Come on, just get.
How terrible is it that they let who's the TCU quarterback again?
Max Duggan.
Max Duggan was
He'd be
Iowa
perfect.
high school.
He would be perfect for them.
Gosh, and they couldn't even get him to transfer after Gary Patterson left. Come on, Max Duggan. Give the Hawkeyes a chance.
And I also want to talk about this. Kirk Ferentz, one of the most underrated coaches in America. Yes, he's better than a lot of other coaches that get like everyone's, oh, Mario Cristobal, fuck that. Kirk Ferentz will coach circles around him. Right? I do stand up comedy, Patty C.
Standpoint, absolutely, yes.
Well, that's coaching.
Yes,
that's the definition of coaching. Yeah,
I mean, I think recruiting is part of coaching.
Yeah, but that's bags of cash. All right, at Alabama, when you're just giving out bags of cash,
yeah,
it's a little different.
If those two coached in the USFL this year with equally talented rosters, I do believe Kirk Ferentz would whip the ever living tar out of Mario Cristobal.
And I'm not just trying to throw a shade under Cristobal, but it just seems like we're in love with. I think Kirk Ferentz better than Lincoln Riley.
Yeah. I mean, look, being a businessman, being a schmoozer, being a used car salesman is part of the game. But if we're just talking about straight up coaching and player development, which is also related to coaching, Ferentz among the best in the game.
I'm doing stand up a couple weeks back, maybe a couple months back, and I run into this comic from Iowa, and I wasn't even bringing up football. If anything, he was talking to somebody else, another comic, and he was saying how he just can't stand. I love Iowa football. I grew up on it, but they're the worst now. I can't stand them. They got to get rid of Ferentz. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck am I hearing?
Yeah.
What? Okay. Do you realize he's got 7 double-digit win seasons, Patty C? 7 double-digit
in 20 years.
Yes, I don't even know.
Let me see him.
How many schools have 7 double-digit win seasons since 2002? All right, so in 19 seasons, 7 of those are double-digit win seasons. And get this, only 1 is a losing season. Oh, actually, no. 06 they were 6-7, but they still got to a bowl game. Yeah. Only 1 year they didn't go to a bowl game.
Well, he spends at least part of almost every season in the top 25. Where do you think this program? What are some like resource similar teams out there? Indiana.
Yes.
Illinois.
Illinois probably has more
with Chicago.
Yeah.
Minnesota has Minneapolis, so much more populated than
Iowa State.
Iowa City. Iowa State is similar, and they've recently come up, but that's
I guess you could throw Nebraska in there.
Nebraska probably. They've done great, but look
Not
at them
recently.
now without a pipeline.
Not recently. You could probably throw Kansas in there.
Kansas State.
Yeah.
Probably. And look, if you want to be Kansas State does go out and get athletic quarterbacks. That's kind of the difference between the programs. And that's been the difference between the high end.
But what program's better?
That's a good question. I mean, I think Iowa is the more consistently, winning program, but they don't have the same ceiling as Kansas State, or they haven't.
Well,
they've had a close to similar. But I do think you do need to go get a freaking quarterback that can.
They should go get just like
that
Eric
guy's
Barriere
argument
was at Eastern Washington. It's like, go get him.
Yeah.
You don't need. All right. Everything else is perfect.
Yeah.
Everything else is perfect. But
the problem is they're probably not growing on trees in flyover country.
You can go get one. If Kansas State can continually go get one.
Yeah.
What is the difference?
Yeah. Come on.
L. Roberson, Jonathan Beasley, Chris Klein, right? Was it Chris Klein? Who was the quarterback Klein that was nasty?
Oh,
not Chris Klein. Chris Kleiman's the head coach.
Klein. Yeah, I know.
Colin Klein.
Colin Klein.
Yeah.
That's right. Waters.
Yes. You just go on and on and on. This year they got Adrian Martinez.
Yeah.
All right.
They get an athlete. They play high intensity defense, just like
No,
Iowa.
I love watching Iowa football. I love watching Iowa football.
But if you just had one more explosive player running the offense instead of a complete lawn chair, then all of a sudden you become really nationally competitive. But in the meantime, 8-5, 9-3, or 8-4, 9-3, even 10-2 some years, pretty damn impressive.
And I know people were giving me a hard time saying, because I said at Iowa City is one of the hardest places to win. And last year I was saying, look, give me Georgia at Iowa in a large playoff. I want to see it.
Yeah. It gets cold.
I still stand by that. I
agree.
Because Ohio State had what? I feel like the year Ohio State played them a couple years ago, they had like 12 players drafted. I know Georgia had 15, but they got their ass whooped when they went and played at Iowa.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that is a little bit of a haunted house. We've talked about the cornfields quite a bit. Look, take out COVID when they went 6-2, and I guess would have been 9-3 if that had continued. So that trend would have continued, but we'll take that out. 7 of the last 8 seasons, 8 wins or more. That one season that they didn't get 8 wins, 7 wins. So look, you're a consistently winning program. It's pretty damn good. You've had 3 10-win seasons in the last 8 years. What do you want, Iowa? Come on, give the guy some credit.
Oh, he's incredible. They're if they ever think of it, if anything, I think Brian Ferentz should be the next head coach. When Kirk wants to step down, you should let Kirk coach till fucking Joe Pa, 87 years old or something.
Kirk is sitting there at what? He's 66. The guy has looked 66 years for the last 30 years.
He does have some good genes going on there.
Brian Ferentz, 39 years old. The Ferentz crew could be running the ship at Iowa for a long, long time.
Yes, and if you're wondering who Brian Ferentz is, that is his offensive coordinator, and that is also his son. And look, the offense, well, they did Iowa things last year. 99th in scoring offense, 102nd in rush offense, 109th in passing offense, 121st in total offense. But here's the thing. Look, I get it. It's like the comic telling me they need to go to a high-powered offense. It's not fun to watch. And I go, you're completely wrong. If they go to a high-powered offense, they're going to go 4-8 every year. This is their ticket to winning. It's like a triple option team. They milk the clock. They don't make dumb penalties. And they have an awesome defense and an awesome special teams. And smart play like that. And that's how you win. Spencer Petras is back for his senior season. Patty C.
Let me drop a little nugget on you. That's gonna. Oh, this is defense. Never mind.
Okay.
They generated the most turnovers on defense within the conference by a mile.
That's what I'm saying.
2.2 turnovers per game. I want to see offensively what their turnover numbers are. Pretty standard turnover ratio. Petras is a shitty quarterback. Let's be honest.
He's a launcher. No, he's an Iowa quarterback.
Yeah,
that's what they do. He's exactly what an Iowa quarterback is,
forever.
with the exception to Brad Banks.
Yeah.
Right. 3 of 5 starters back on the O line protecting Spencer Petras, led by Connor Colby. Great name. They have an All-American tight end. Surprise, surprise. Iowa's got an All-American tight end. Sam Laporta is back. Patty C. This is why they're awesome too. Their fullback returns, and he's a penciled-in starter. Monty Pottenbaum. Shout out, make fullbacks great again. All right.
It's so
great.
It's so Big Ten. It's hurts.
so fucking great.
So
they
Chicago,
are perfect.
Chicago.
This is like
Burbs.
the most perfect college football team.
Yeah.
Both wideouts are back, and Keegan Johnson and Nico Ragani. They are breaking a new running back. Tyler Goodson's off to the NFL, so we're gonna have to see what they do there.
Goodson had 1,000 or 1,151 rushing yards last year. Gavin Williams stepping in 305.
And he played in the bowl game, so hey, I think Gavin Williams will be fine. And now we get to talk the defensive side of the ball, Patty C, because Phil Parker, he's fucking great. Get this: 13th best defense in scoring, 13th best run defense in the nation, 42nd best pass defense, charting at the 17th best defense overall. And I got news for you. I think we might have a top 5 defense or a top 10 defense in 2022 because 3 of 4 starters are back on the defensive line, led by defensive tackle Logan Lee. 2 of 3 linebackers are back, led by Jack Campbell. That's a classic Iowa name. Jack Campbell.
The badass.
Yeah.
Second in the nation in total tackles last year.
He's a fucking beast. 3 of 4 are back in the secondary, led by Jamari Harris. But get this. In comes in a 5-star safety in Xavier Mwankpa. They lose their kicker, but their kickers are always, I feel like, the next man up, obviously. And they bring back their punter, who's like an All-American. This defense is going to be fucking nasty. I would not want to play this defense, especially in Iowa City.
Yeah. Oh gosh, this is going to be a ferocious defense. Like you said, it's Jack Campbell at the middle linebacker spot, the anchor of the defense. Riley Moss. I mean, they had 4 guys in the top 20 nationally interception wise. I believe they lead the nation in interception, or I think they did lead the nation in interceptions last year with 25 total as a team. That's not typically what you would think of from an Iowa type team. You would think like a bend but don't break, but stout bend don't break defense. But they are actually kind of playmakers on the defensive side of the ball.
They are.
They're aggressive. They mix it up.
They always have a good secondary, as you saw last year. The only guy they lost from their secondary, Dane Belton, was drafted by the New York Giants. Yeah, this team. I mean, when it comes to just defensive players, look, the defensive backs, they're almost like a hidden DBU. Because you go back, and this is all in the past couple of years. You have Geno Stone drafted by the Ravens. You have Michael Ojemudia drafted by the Broncos. Amani Hooker drafted by the Titans. Josh Jackson drafted by the Packers. Desmond King drafted by the Chargers. Those are all defensive backs within the past 5 years.
Cornfield D-backs.
Love it. And they also they have a decent amount of defensive linemen too, drafted and tight ends. I mean, they had that one year in 2019 where TJ Hawkinson and Noah Fant, 2 tight ends drafted in the first 20 picks.
Yeah.
From Iowa. That's incredible. They also had George Kittle drafted. I mean, look, they do tight ends. They do tight ends, buddy.
They do offensive linemen too. In fact, the majority of their 4-star recruits, which we'll get to, have all been in the trenches. A couple D-backs, but they recruit the trenches. That talent is available. There's some corn-fed boys out there.
Can we just call this tight end you?
It should be.
I mean, you go back from the days of Scott Slutzker to the Colts, Austin Wheatley to the Saints. Listen to this: Dallas Clark to the Colts, Eric Jensen to the Rams, Tony Jackson to the Seahawks, Scott Chandler to the Chargers, Brandon Myers to the Raiders, Tony Maoki, I'm probably butchering that, to the Chiefs, CJ Fedorovic to the Texans. This program just is a tight end factory.
Cranks them.
It's a tight end factory. It's a defensive back factory. I can't wait to talk more, Patty C, about this team. We're going to talk transfer portal. What is that?
What is the transfer portal? I don't think the people in Iowa are.
I don't think Kirk Ferentz has ever heard of that.
Apparently not.
There's this thing called, if you don't want to play for us, get the fuck out. But we don't transfer portal.
Culture issue in Iowa.
Transfer portal, is that a new sci-fi flick? Says Kirk Ferentz. All right. We're going to talk more of that. We'll talk the schedule and expectations. And if you see the sweet graphic, shout out to the SGPN graphics team. If you're watching this on YouTube, you will see the graphic that we have up there. We're going to do all that, but first I got to get us paid. All right. The Iowa Hawkeyes 2022 season preview episode is brought to you by WinBet. Bet $50 at WinBet. Get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WinBet. Download the WinBet app now or visit winbet.com. That's WYNNBet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. You already play fantasy on Sleeper, but now you can win cold, hard cash with their over-under game. Just head to sleeper.com/SGP on your phone. To join the SGPN group, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's sleeper.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by us. We just relaunched our merch store. So get the SGPN app, or, to check out this merch store with all your favorite SGPN gear, just go to store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com and then let it ride, people. We're also brought to you by Dave. You probably wonder, Dave? Yeah, it sounds like every player that plays for the Hawkeyes, right? Dave Daverson, right? Not Dave Dewerson. Shout out to Dave Dewerson, though.
No CTE there.
Yes. Dave is a banking app that can help you get up to $500 instantly with extra cash, because let's be honest, sometimes you live paycheck to paycheck. I've been doing that shit for decades. All right. That's living, Patty C. No, it's not. Actually, it is in a way.
Survive it.
Right. It happens to all of us at times where you something comes up and you got to deal with all this stuff. And, Dave provides, basically like little insurance. Yeah. Millions of people have already downloaded the Dave app to get their financial relief. And get this, there's no interest. There's no credit check needed. All right. So if you've destroyed your credit or you just need a couple bucks in a jam, download the Dave app from the App Store right now. That's DAVE. Sign up for extra cash account and get $500 instantly. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking provided by Evolve, member of the FDIC. We're also brought to you by IPVanish. Did you know that browsing online using incognito mode doesn't actually protect your privacy? That's right. Without added security, you might as well be giving away all your private data to hackers, advertisers, your ISP, and other prying eyes. That's why here at SGPN Studios, we use IPVanish VPN to make it easy to stay truly private and secure on the internet. IPVanish helps you safely browse the internet by encrypting 100% of your data. That means your private details, your emails, your passwords, your communication, your browsing history, and more will be completely shielded from falling into the wrong hands. Even your physical location will be hidden. IPVanish makes you virtually invisible online. It's that simple. So go to IPVanish.com/SGP and use the promo code SGP and claim 70% off your savings. That's IPVanish.com/SGP. We are back on the college football experience, Iowa Hawkeye style. By the way, I want to shout out my guy, Justin Mark. Justin Mark, I think he's an Iowa Hawkeye fan, if memory serves me correct. But he does a lot of great work for us at the Sports Gambling Podcast, covering, whether it's at just football year round, basically. NFL, college football, USFL, MLFB. Check out Justin Mark. J Mark, great dude. Patty C, we are talking Iowa Hawkeye football. And buddy, I'm looking. We grade the transfer rankings every year, right? For every team.
This is the easiest job, all 131 episodes, is to grade Iowa's.
Surprisingly, this year though, Kirk Ferentz, something must have happened. He changed his ways. He changed his ways.
Don't we have a Rocky clip for this?
Yeah. He did change his ways, Patty C. Kirk Ferentz. First, I'll do this.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
And then I will queue up. Where the hell is this clip? I can't find this stuff. You get me on the fly.
If I can change,
there we go.
Then you can change. Everybody can change.
Kirk Ferentz challenging Rocky.
He don't do transfer portal, but guess what? This year he said, you know what? I'm gonna get hip. And I'm going to bring in Steven Stellanos, a tight end from Lafayette in the FCS. Holy shit. He brought in.
There it is. You said graduate transfer?
He's a wild one. Got a grad transfer from Lafayette.
That's really appropriate.
Steven Stellanos, and is a tight end. He broke his rules. Got one guy. Look, he adapted. That's what I'm talking about. And these Iowa football fans that are delusional that want him gone. Look at him. He went out. He was active in the transfer portal. Brought home a Stellanos. All right.
There it is. Kirk Ferentz, adjusting, changing his ways.
Okay, so that's it. That's all they brought in.
Baby steps. Okay, baby steps.
They did lose wide receiver Charlie Jones to Purdue. What?
How?
Hold on.
Charlie Jones.
What is happening?
I mean,
what is happening when you leave Iowa to go to Purdue?
Was the sixth highest punt return yardage in the country?
What is he doing?
11th highest kick return yardage.
Do these kids have any fucking morals anymore?
Right.
Look, go if you want. I don't have a problem with you transferring. Go to Maryland. But to go to someone in your same division, it's filthy. It's absolutely filthy.
Ouch. Especially a team that shellacked you last year at home.
Yeah.
I mean, they were what? They were undefeated coming into that game. Everything was going great.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa was sitting there at 6-0, and then the Spoilermakers come to town 24-7 on homecoming. And this guy, Charlie Jones, has the nerve to say, "You know what? That's enough, Iowa. I'm out of here."
Yeah, and they also lost linebacker Brandon Sweeney. He's in the portal. Quarterback Deuce Hogan. He decided to go take a deuce down in Lexington.
Hello.
With the Kentucky Wildcats. And then wide receiver Tyrone Tracy. Patty C, he transferred to Purdue.
2 wide receivers. Well, you know what? If you're trying to go to the NFL, I think playing under
but you can also go to several schools and do that.
Who's Brian?
Jeff Brom.
Jeff Brom. Yeah.
Slightly better. I'm sorry. There's something called loyalty. I think
we have a song for that too.
I mean, people are gonna be they're gonna be like, "Gosh, why do we have to listen to this every time?"
You have to sit through moral lessons from the people at the college experience here. Which
what did I do in this
no
song?
position
Where is this
hand
song?
out here.
The point is that right now it's really in a bad spot.
Sorry, I'm making you dial these up on the fly here. Come on.
What the hell's going on, man? How many teams do we got to do where we see a guy leaving Georgia to go to Florida or what is happening to the youth?
The youth of America have sold their souls for money, just like the adults. Don't say the youth when it's these administrators. Our
true.
Entire society is just the most self-serving. Look, and you know what? Greed is good, yada, yada, yada. But do you ever want to look your coach in the face again and honestly think like, hey, you're the person that brought me out of high school and gave me this chance?
Especially at Iowa where no one else a lot of times is recruiting you. They recruit you and then they build you up and then you're going to do this. It's fucking trash. All right. Wide receiver Desmond Hudson. He's in the portal. Tight end Josiah Miamen went to Florida International. He's got a layover at the airport there. And wide receiver Quavon Matthews. He's in the portal as well. So they definitely took some hits. They lost the transfer portal, but I would argue that in a way, compared to years past, they won it because they brought in Steven Stellanos. Get your t-shirts ready. All right. Get him an NIL deal.
Kirk Ferentz can never have enough tight ends. Let's be honest.
Patty C, talk to me about recruiting.
Well, you want me to hit these all conference?
Yeah.
All right. Preseason all conference. We got Sam Laporta at tight end, first team offense, third team offense, Connor Colby at offensive line, fourth team offense, Gavin Williams, 305 rushing yards. But apparently these publications think he's going to have a big year. Despite that, taking over for who? Goodson?
Yeah, Mike. Yeah,
we got to expect Iowa running back to do pretty well. On defense, absolutely loaded. First team, Jack Campbell at linebacker, Riley Moss at corner. Second team, defensive line, Logan Lee and linebacker Seth Benson. Third team, two more defensive linemen, Lucas Van Ness and Noah Shannon. And fourth team, Kayvon Merriweather at safety. Again, Torrey Taylor, great punter. This team
is loaded
on the defensive side of the ball.
So if you're watching on YouTube, we got this sweet ass graphic here. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. The recruiting rankings.
Recruiting is like the most, I mean, go to sleep when you listen to these recruiting rankings because it's the same thing every year. Nationally, 39, 45, 35, 27 in 2021. So a nice little jump there. And then 39 again. Within the conference, that's been 8, 9, 8, 7, 6. But when you consider the composite rankings nationally, frigging hilarious. The last 4 cycles that we have are 43, 43, 43, and 43. This is always the 43rd most talented team in the country. It is always the 9th most talented team in the conference, and yet they win as if they're the third.
Yes, if you want proof that recruiting rankings are overrated,
look no further than Kirk Ferentz,
because they only go win. I mean, on average, they probably go 9 and 3 every year.
You know, what was it? 24/7 actually did release like a player development ranking. I would be curious to see where Iowa was on that, because these stats indicate that they're on the higher end of that, obviously.
Yeah, they're incredible. And
oh, here we go. A couple more projected 4 stars that have come through. Outside linebacker Justin Jacobs was a 4-star. Connor Colby was a 4-star, and Keegan Johnson was a 4-star athlete.
Yeah.
So a couple talented guys going to be seeing the field pretty consistently here.
Yeah, and I mean, this program is just a model of consistency. Let's hop into it, buddy, because Vegas is telling us 7.5 wins. Just on first thought, you're gonna hammer that over, right?
Would you? We said, what was it? 7 out of the last full seasons, 7 of the last 8 full seasons they played, they've gotten over 7.5.
Well, the bowl game wouldn't count, so I think that would be.
Yeah, I'd have to double check on that.
No. I think it's only 1 year though that would have applied, because. Okay, so they would have got, obviously 2020 we're going to throw out because they only played 8 games.
Yeah.
Last year, over would have cashed. 2019, the year prior, it would have cashed, right?
Yeah.
2018, it would have cashed. 2017, it would not have cashed. 7-5 regular season.
Gotcha.
2016, it would have cashed. 2015, it would have cashed. So every year but one. In the past, what?
And then 2013, it would have cashed, even though 2014 it wouldn't have.
Yeah.
So what? That's 2 out of the last 9 seasons.
Yeah.
That it hasn't cashed. 7 of the last 9 it has cashed. That they go over 7.5. I think it's a pretty safe bet, but again, the schedule does matter. But the fact that Petrus is coming back, look,
and that defense, man,
that defense is excellent. Say what you will about his upside, Petrus, but having experience at the quarterback position for Iowa is huge.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. So let's get to it, Patty C. Week 1, Saturday, September 3rd, Kinnick Stadium. Wow, the Jackrabbits. Watch out! Watch out! I know Pierre Strong's off in the New England Patriots, but this program is very good. They are very, very good. They only won 11 games last year, Patty C, and beat Colorado State by 19 points.
Shellacked them.
Guess what? Iowa only beat Colorado State by 10 points last year.
And they played the same style of football.
That was in Kinnick. South Dakota State went to Fort Collins and won by 19.
Well, this game will be in Kinnick too, but
no, but I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I am under the impression, I don't know. I mean,
I'm taking Iowa, but this is like 17-14.
Yeah. I feel like South Dakota has probably better offensive weapons generally than Iowa does.
Watch out in this game. Just watch out.
Don't
watch out. I think North Dakota State, I think, bit Iowa like, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 years ago. This is the same similar style team that can just fuck you up. Watch out. I'm taking the Hawkeyes.
The first game of the season benefits Iowa, though. They're not going to overlook them. They'll be ready for them. Yeah, 3-point win, 17-14.
Week 2, they get the Iowa State Cyclones, and they've had their number lately.
Yeah.
They have had their number. This is in Kinnick. I'm taking Iowa.
I would have to.
Breece Hall's being replaced. Brock Purdy's being replaced.
Let me see if I can pull up any recent stuff. Man, they've won the last 6 in a row.
Some of those were crazy though. One was like a 20-hour delay.
Yeah. I mean, all 4 of the last 4 games have been by 10 points or less. 2 of those by 1 and 3 points respectively. Expect another close one here. But Iowa did look much better, even though the score was only 10 points.
14-13 Iowa wins.
Yeah,
2-0.
I agree.
Shout out to their out of conference scheduling though, because 11 win South Dakota State team, a bowl team in Iowa State, and the Nevada Wolfpack, Patty C, are the next team.
Well,
coming
shout
into
out
Kinnick.
to their athletic director for getting all 3 out of conference games at home.
Well, that Iowa State one just bounces back
Rotates,
and forth. Yeah. Nevada is coming off an 8-5 season. The Wolfpack did lose their head coach Jay Norvell though, who I believe went to Iowa. So shout out, isn't that fitting? But here's the Wolfpack coming into town. I'm taking Iowa, Patty C.
I think you have to. I think we're expecting Nevada to take a pretty big step back.
Yeah, 3-0.
Nice.
Now they hit the road. They go to Piscataway. This could be a game.
This could be a game. I don't think Iowa's too good on the road.
I'm still taking Iowa.
I think you have to.
17-14.
Yeah. Every
4-0.
game.
I am so curious what you're doing here.
Buddy.
The Michigan Wolverines come into Iowa City.
I mean, Michigan will have played all 4 games in the month of September in Ann Arbor. This will be their first road game of the season. Iowa, pretty tricky. October 1st, not going to be cold yet, but it's going to be a lit house for both of these teams, presumably being undefeated.
The last 2 times, whoa. The last 4 times Michigan's played
In Kinnick,
they have lost.
all 4.
Yes.
Make it number 5. Make it number 5. I think, and look, Michigan.
The last time they won in Kinnick was 2005,
Man,
and they won by 3 at that.
Michigan's losing some pieces. They're going to be good,
dude,
but
check this out. This is pretty fascinating here.
yeah,
Since 1998, Michigan's only won 3 times, and all 3 of those came by a score or less.
wait, in Iowa City.
In Iowa City.
Okay.
So check this out. 98, Michigan won 12-9.
Yeah.
Right? They played in 01. Michigan won 36-26. Or I'm sorry, 32-26. Not so a 6-point game, right?
Yeah.
Then they lost to Iowa 30-27 in 03, right?
Yep.
Then they won 23-20 in 05.
This is when Michigan in 03-05 was still like a national power, about where they were last year.
So they win by 3 in 05. Then in 09, Iowa wins 30-28.
Yep.
Then in 11, Iowa City, Iowa wins 24-16, right? Then in 13, Iowa wins 24-21. Then in 16, Iowa wins 14-13.
I think we know what we're going to get out of this game.
I mean,
a 1-score game. But who's going to come out on top? I think history tells us Iowa will.
yes. I mean, I'm not going to fade that trend now.
Yeah, and especially because I think Iowa actually brings back at least certainly more.
Dude, that defense is going to, I mean, Michigan.
It might be the best defense in the country, Iowa, this year.
Well, I just don't think Michigan's gonna be able to move the ball, and having those fans there. Now, I will say this: Michigan benefits, even though Michigan's an outdoor team, they benefit from being October 1st.
Yeah, although Michigan's not going to be like terribly affected by cold weather. They're used to playing in that.
But I think that 14-13 game, the wind was huge in that game.
Yeah. I mean, no matter what, when you're on the road and it's cold, it's just double the discomfort. And so I think that contributes to Michigan's failures in Iowa City. I have to lean Iowa again here.
I do too, but I mean, could they lose it 5-0 and then they have a road game at Illinois?
I mean, this is the kind of game that Iowa loses, especially after a big win.
It is true.
What was that last year? They beat Penn State in Iowa City, and then the next week lose to Purdue. Penn State had come into that game 5-0 last year, and so I think Penn State was ranked coming into pretty highly, top 10 coming into that game. Iowa comes out with the win by 3
Illinois
points.
lost 8 in a row to Iowa.
I mean, I do expect Bielema to have that team improving, but I think Iowa gets to 6-0. I think they get to 6-0.
This is a trap game, though. That is a trap game.
Absolutely.
But give me it. Give me a 6-0.
They could be 5-1 here.
20-13.
They could be 4-2 here. But
yes.
I'll say 6-0 with you.
I'll say 6-0. They get a bye to prep for Ohio State. Doesn't matter. Ohio State's going to beat them in Columbus
on the road. They're getting shellacked here. Let's be honest.
So 6-1. They come home for Northwestern, and to me, Northwestern always plays them good. Even last year, Northwestern sucked last year. I saw them lose to Nebraska by like 50 points live in Lincoln. And if you look at this, Patty C, this is one I feel like just they're kind of chippy. Northwestern knows how to play them. I'm quickly pulling this up right now. I know Iowa's winning the series 52-28. But look, last year Iowa won 17-12.
Northwestern's won 3 straight in Iowa City.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That and by 5 points.
Let's see. Yeah, by 1 point, by 4 points, and by 7 points the last 3 times. Again, this is Big Ten football. Pat Fitzgerald versus Kirk Ferentz.
Homecoming.
Yeah. I don't know what you want.
I'm taking
Iowa as well.
So 7-1. They just need one more win, Patty C. They go to Purdue. I think Purdue beats them.
Well, I think they're due for a second loss here. I don't know if Purdue gets them again, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. I think they have trouble with explosive offenses,
especially on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sure, let's give them an L here.
They come home to take on Wisconsin. For some reason, I feel like Wisconsin plays them well too.
Well, it's not for some reason. It's pretty sure because they do it.
They're the same team, right?
Wisconsin. This is a very close all-time series, 44-48, at least as far as back as Sports Reference goes.
Iowa's only won 1 in the past 6 matchups. Some of them were really close, but some of them were also ass whoopings.
I don't know what to think. I mean, who's Wisconsin's quarterback?
Graham.
This is Mertz. Yeah. This is a shit quarterback fest. I do think Mertz is better than Petrus slightly. It's in Iowa City though. Give me the Hawkeyes, dude. I don't know.
This is tough. It's whoever scores the first touchdown is going to win, or whoever makes the turnover. Jim Leonard going up against this defense.
That would hit the over if they get the win here, right?
Yes.
You know what? Let's play devil's advocate.
I'm going to say they lose
and give them the L.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to say they lose. Then they go to Minnesota, the Golden Gophers. I feel like Minnesota's played them well as well.
Minnesota, I do believe, has given them some games at the very least. This is for Floyd of Rosedale, their most played game of all time, according to the source I'm looking at. Minnesota leads the all-time series 61-51.
Iowa's actually won 7 in a row, huh?
Wow.
Some of these have been close though. Iowa 27-22, 23-19, 17-10, 14-7, 40-35.
5 of the last 7 by 1 score or less.
Wild. I'm taking Iowa.
I guess you got to. Even on the road though?
No. I'll take Minnesota.
Well, I'll have them split Wisconsin and Iowa, or Wisconsin and Minnesota. So I got them hitting that over with 1 game to spare.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or the last game is home to Nebraska. They're going to win one of those 3, and absolutely. I got them at 8-4.
8-4, 9-3. I think 8.5 should be the number here. Vegas kind of sleeping on the trend, and as usual, sleeping on the Hawkeyes.
Could they go 11-1?
Only loss being to Ohio State.
Yeah.
They got Michigan, Wisconsin, at Minnesota, Nebraska.
Too much, right?
Too much.
I got 8-4. I'm on the over. Maybe 9-3. Patty C's on the over as well. Subscribe to the College Football Experience, folks. Look, we're on YouTube. We're on wherever you can find podcasts, any platform where you can find them. You will find the College Football Experience. Subscribe to us, and I think if you can go to iTunes, give us a 5-star review. We'd certainly appreciate it. If you do that, take a screenshot. Find us on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Show us that screenshot. We'll send you a College Football Experience t-shirt. If you're watching on YouTube, it will look like that pennant right there. I'm on Twitter at DColbyD. You can also send that to me. Patty C's on Twitter at PattyC831. NC Nick's on Twitter at NC_NICK. We are the College Football Experience. But also remember to subscribe to the College Basketball Experience, because we talk college basketball year round, and Iowa always keeps a good program going. Luka Garza. Even back to the days of Kevin Gamble. Yeah, shout out to that.
Keegan Murray was drafted what pick this year?
That I don't know.
I think he was number 4, maybe.
Okay, I know he was high up there. Yeah. So check out the college basketball experience. Also, I do the college baseball experience with Noah Beanick, and yeah, check out all of our other platforms. Like I said, J Mark is already doing NFL stuff. Sports Gambling Podcast doing NFL stuff. So if you're an NFL guy, they got you covered there. All the other sports that are happening right now, MLB Gambling Podcast, go check that out. I mean, you can go on and on and on. Golf Gambling Podcast, check them out. I think all these platforms, CFL, Canadian football is your thing. Check out the CFL Gambling Podcast. We got it all for free though, coming to you on the SGPN app. So grab that thing and let's have a good time. All right, Patty C, he's on the over. I'm on the over. We love Iowa football. This is the college football experience, Iowa Hawkeye style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.